Hello, I'm Donna Bell,
And I'm Darren Elizaris.
and we want to welcome you to our program, This Week in the Valley. Here you'll meet people that are making a difference in our community and learn about events taking place all over the area.
We have a great show, and joining us this week are Brian Hafner with MoDOT to talk about the proposed transportation sales tax, Buckland's 4-H and FFA coordinator Valerie Montgomery, and FFA ambassador Kelsey Allman with information on the Lynn County FFA and 4-H fair.
July is National Ice Cream Month. Most everyone knows that and are doing their part to enjoy as much ice cream as possible. But July is also National Blueberry Month, a fruit known for having one of the highest antioxidants capacities among all fruits.
So just how bad is ice cream for you? Well, it's not the most healthy food option. It's full of sugar, one of the most addictive drugs in the world, and chemical additives that could be harmful. But probably like most of us, you give in and have some anyways.
On the flip side, blueberries have reached superstar status in terms of their unique health benefits, including benefits for the nervous system and brain health, and has been proven to improve memory.
Undoubtedly, the number one reason we all love ice cream is the smooth creaminess and delicious sweet taste. Blueberries are delicious and sweet too.
So let's celebrate both ice cream and blueberry month in a healthy way. Here are a few healthy tips to help you through the month.
How about a combination of a couple frozen bananas with a handful of blueberries and a quarter cup of coconut milk blended together to make a delicious cool berry dessert. Very similar to the look and feel of ice cream, but healthier. Yum.
Tried that and it really is good. How about making a homemade ice cream sandwich with graham crackers, Cool Whip, and blueberries? Blend the Cool Whip and blueberries, apply a thick coat on the graham crackers, and make a sandwich. Freeze them and enjoy.
There are many kinds of amazing ways to incorporate blueberries into your diet, including some that taste just like ice cream to help create a healthy option to celebrate both the cool creaminess of ice cream and sweet blueberries. A delectable combination.
Absolutely. So I guess the bottom line is add more blueberries to your diet. So, well, an election will be held August 5th, and one of the ballot items facing Missourians is the transportation sales tax. Our first guest, Brian Hafner with MoDOT, wants you to be an informed voter, and he joins us now with more. And I am pleased to be joined by Brian Hafner. He is with MoDOT, and he's here to tell us a little bit about a tax that's going to be on our August ballot, and it's going to affect everyone in Missouri, and so we want everyone to know about it. So Brian, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what you do for MoDOT.
Well, I'm an area engineer for MoDOT out of our Northeast District. I cover 8 counties in central Missouri from Hannibal to Macon, Moberly, Mexico, Bowling Green. Kind of gives you the idea of the area that I cover.
Quite a bit of area.
Yeah, and do a lot of driving around, a lot of windshield time to get all the places I have to go.
So we have a tax that we need to be informed about. Tell us about that and how, what we need to know to be an informed voter.
Well, it's Constitutional Amendment 7 that was placed on the ballot by the legislature. The governor put it on the August ballot, so August 5th is when it'll be voted upon. And it's a 3/4 cent sales tax that sunsets in 10 years. And most of the money would go to MoDOT. A small portion of it would go to cities and counties for their transportation needs. Most of it goes to MoDOT. And so our role was to put together a list of projects that we would build if this does come to pass in August.
So how did you come up with that list?
Well, we've been working on that for quite a while, working with our planning partners. We've got regional planning commissions around the state who have traditionally helped us to identify needs and prioritize projects. And so the 8 counties that I work with are actually within the Mark Twain Regional Council of Governments region. And then there's Northeast Missouri, RPC to the north of us, and Boonslick, RPC to the south, that are part of our Northeast District. So we've been working with those 3 RPCs for quite some time to identify those needs and come up with a list, prioritized list of projects for the area.
Can you tell us a little bit about Macon County and maybe Randolph counties?
Sure. Most of the projects that are on our list, and it kind of goes back to our funding situation at MoDOT. So most of our funds come from fuel taxes, and that's a declining revenue stream because people drive less and they drive more fuel efficient vehicles than they used to. So every year there's a little bit less money to take care of our transportation system. So we're looking at these new funds to supplement our existing funds to take care of what we've got. So the majority of the projects that are on our list are going to be things that are taking care of our existing system. So replacing bridges, resurfacing roadways, and things like that. Now there are a few things here in the Macon area that the intersection of Highway 63 and 36. So when you come up the ramps on the interchange and it's busy, it's hard to make a left turn, traffic backs up, sometimes it backs up onto Highway 36. That's not a safe situation. So one of the projects on our list would be to make some improvements to that interchange, add signals, that kind of thing to help traffic flow better. Other projects in the area, replacing bridges. The bridge at La Plata on Route D over the railroad is in fairly poor condition. It needs to be replaced. We've got a lot of bridges around northeast Missouri that need some attention. So several bridges in Macon County, one on Route PP, the one at La Plata. Same thing in Randolph County, there's a couple bridges there. And then just some resurfacing projects, repaving existing roads and that sort of thing.
Well, it's important that we maintain our bridges and our roads for safety purposes, and especially the bridges. You know, a lot of times, you know, those are in need of repair, and it's important that we keep them up to date.
Right, and in statewide, about 20% of our bridges are in poor condition. So either they're structurally deficient or functionally obsolete. Either they're need to have some work done, or they're too narrow, or they're issues that make them not unusable but less than desirable. So we inspect every bridge every year, every 2 years, depending on its condition. So they're all still safe. But if we don't have additional funding, we'll get to the point in a few years where instead of being able to replace those bridges that need work, we'll just have to close them. And if you close the bridge, then people can't get through the road anymore. So it's important that we do have the ability to take care of what we've got.
Absolutely. And it's not just fixing the roads in our counties, but you said something about I-70 and all, the highways and roadways that we use frequently, and others that come to Missouri use. So
right, and this, you mentioned this is a statewide sales tax, so it's going to apply to the entire state. And there are big statewide needs out there, and I-70 is probably the biggest. It was built in the 50s. It was designed for a 20-year design life, so we're well beyond that. It's well beyond the number of cars and trucks that it was designed for. It's, if you go down underneath the existing pavement, it's starting to crumble and fall apart. We have to do something with I-70. And then there are other interstates around the state as well, but I-70 is like first on our list. So if this sales tax did pass, there's going to be funding set aside specifically for I-70 to rebuild it, to get 6 lanes all the way across the state.
6 lanes.
Right.
Wow, that'd be great. Well, while I was at a Macon Chamber meeting, we had Erin Gruber from MoDOT come and talk with us, and she shared some facts about the proposed measure. And so maybe we can just talk about some of the facts that are on this list. The sales tax increase will not be applied to purchases of medicine, groceries, and gasoline.
Right, it's a state sales tax, and that does not apply to those essentials. The groceries, the medicine, gasoline, rent, utilities, those kind of things are not affected by a state sales tax.
And it freezes the gas tax over a 10-year period of time.
Right, while this sales tax is in effect, we cannot increase the state fuel tax. So there's fuel taxes are a combination of federal and state. Our current state fuel tax is 17 cents a gallon, and we could not increase that during the time that this sales tax is in effect.
And we'll provide an estimated $5.4 billion in funding for transportation projects over 10 years, 2015 to 2025.
Right, that's the projection, about $540 million a year. And as I said, some of those funds would go to 5% goes to cities and 5% to counties. And it gets distributed based on their existing formulas that they get some fuel tax money today. So the city of Macon will get a little bit of extra money to take care of roads. The Macon County will get a little extra money to take care of their roads.
As soon as it passes in 2015.
Assuming that it does pass.
Right. The money cannot be diverted to non-transportation projects by politicians.
Right, this is a constitutional amendment, and the amendment says that these funds go to MoDOT and the cities and counties for transportation use.
And the money must be spent on locally developed project lists with local citizens and community input, and that's something that you have been working on.
Right, and that's how we did develop our list, is going through that. We had extensive outreach over the last 2 years, doing our long-range plan and coming back and talking to folks again about if there is this sales tax on the ballot, what would you like to see? We've held public meetings, we've had all kinds of public input, and that's where the list came from.
And that's important because that's what we feel like needs to happen, and so that's really important. I think that's a great selling point if, these are things that we see need to happen.
Right, this is, we thought it was important that this isn't a MoDOT list. This is a list that came from the ground up to us and works within our priorities.
The regional project priority lists will be complete. They are in the process of being completed or are completed.
Yep, the final list is approved by our commission, and so that's how you know what you'll be voting on in August.
And then the election, of course, is August 5th. Everybody needs to make sure they mark that on the calendar, make sure you vote. One way or the other, it's important that you get out and vote. What else do we need to know about this?
Well, just transportation does affect everybody, whether you drive directly on the roads or, if my grandmother's in the nursing home, she doesn't drive anymore, but she still gets food, she still gets medicine, she still, bed linens have to be clean and all those things. All those things are affected by our transportation system. So regardless of whether you actually drive or not, you're still getting the benefit of the transportation system, and it's important to everybody to have a good transportation system so that we can continue to have those things that make up our quality of life.
So, well, Brian, this has been very helpful. It's great information. It's great to be informed. Just if you need to get out and vote on August 5th, and if you have any questions, is there someplace they can go for more information?
Absolutely. You can always call our 800 number at MoDOT, 888-ASK-MoDOT. Any question you have, the person that answers the phone, and it is a live person 24/7, if they don't know the answer, they will certainly find somebody that can answer it and get back to you.
Mm-hmm. And there's a little bit of time before August 5th. Do you have if anybody would like somebody to come and talk with their organization, would you or someone be available to talk with them?
Absolutely. We'll be glad to come out and talk to anybody.
All right. I know you can't say one way or the other whether this is a good thing or bad thing. It's just that you're providing the facts, and we certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, and the facts are some kind of funding for transportation is very important. So whether you vote for the sales tax or not, we do need to have some kind of new funding for transportation in Missouri.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.